lands good punches. I think Canelo could hurt Crawford. Crawford's, first time in that division and jumping 2 divisions.
The way that Terence Crawford being, to me, my favorite fighter, the best fighter pound for pound, can be Canelo. A 147-pounder moving up to 68.
Floyd Mayweather explains why he believes Terence Crawford cannot beat Canelo Álvarez, emphasizing the massive weight disadvantage. He stresses that moving up several divisions is not just about skill, it's about surviving size, power, and endurance at the elite level. Canelo has consistently fought naturally bigger opponents, while Crawford is stepping into unknown territory. Mayweather suggests that no matter how technically brilliant Crawford is, the physical gap will be too much to overcome. I couldn't just move up to 180 or 190 pounds either, Floyd adds, underscoring the challenge.
Because of the weight disadvantage, I can't go all the way up to 180 or 190 pounds.
Robert Garcia echoes this, pointing out that Crawford's lack of experience at super middleweight is one of his biggest obstacles. While Crawford has dominated across multiple divisions, entering Canelo's natural weight class is far riskier. Garcia highlights how Canelo has perfected his craft against larger men for years, while Crawford's body has not yet fully adjusted to the added weight, making him appear less explosive and less fluid. Against a seasoned champion like Canelo, this could prove decisive.
Jumping 2 divisions, where he only had 1 fight at 154 and didn't look his best either. So there's a lot of questions, about that. And that's why a lot of people think Canelo is going to knock out Crawford. But I'm probably one of the only ones that I do give Crawford a chance. Yeah. I think Crawford could pull it off. Crawford is very talented. He's very fast. He's very smart in the ring. So I think a perfect fight, Crawford could pull off a decision.
Okay.
I think he could win a decision. I don't pick him. I wouldn't put my money on him winning because it's a very dangerous, risky fight, especially with Canelo being so strong. But Canelo's last few performances, he's looked slow, flat-footed, looking for 1 punch at a time. And if that's the Canelo that fights Crawford, Crawford could win a decision. Crawford could outbox him, could outsmart him, could land 3-4 punch combinations and move and win a decision. So do I give Crawford a chance? 100% think Crawford could pull it off. Would I put my money on it? Probably not, but I do give him a chance.
Yeah, good stuff. Look, Robert, I appreciate you taking time to speak to me. I appreciate you letting me in the gym today. Always a pleasure, and hopefully be catching up sometime soon.
Thanks
appreciate
for coming.
it. Thank you
very much.
Analysts underline the monumental stakes of this fight. If Crawford can overcome Canelo's size and power, his legacy would soar, placing him firmly alongside Floyd Mayweather in the all-time great conversation. Defeating a fighter of Canelo's stature would cement him as the pound-for-pound best of his generation. However, experts also caution that this would not surpass Mayweather's legacy, and undefeated career across multiple eras still stands unmatched. Still, the chance to climb into such rarefied status makes this fight a defining moment in boxing history.
Time undisputed is insane. If you were to beat Canelo, Terence Crawford, at that point, pound for pound, right under Floyd. Right under Floyd. Wherever you got Floyd, I put whatever you got him, Terence Crawford's right behind him. Unless you got him first. Okay, how about me? Because I don't have Floyd in my top 10. I have Pacquiao over Floyd. So I know somebody's about to get most, but I would put Terence Crawford, man, that's old school. That's Henry Armstrong, Sam Langford. Like that's old. That's Joe Gans and Barbados Joe Walcott and Barbados Joe, not Jersey. I'm Barbados. Like that's old school accomplishments. Man, that's throwback. I would have to assess that. 3-time undisputed in the 4-belt era, and against who? Yo, that I don't think Pacquiao would have I don't think he achieved anything in a single fight that would be greater than Terence Crawford jumping up 3 weight classes and beating Canelo. I don't think Pacquiao achieved anything in a single fight greater than that. Not in a single fight. Beating Cotto, I still, because Cotto was weight drained. Has Floyd done anything? Well, he beat Canelo.
Jeff Mayweather reacts to Canelo Álvarez's claim that Crawford is better than Floyd. He dismisses the statement, arguing it's more about Canelo trying to elevate his own standing by comparison. Since Canelo lost decisively to Floyd, suggesting Crawford is superior offers him an indirect excuse for that defeat. Jeff insists that while Crawford is exceptional, he has not yet reached Floyd's level of dominance or accomplishments. For Jeff, Floyd's undefeated record and consistent mastery over elite opponents remain unmatched.
If we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience. He still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people, but
Are you at the top of your career in your prime? You're in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Okay. Yeah. So, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
I mean,
to make himself look like he did something great.
Joel Diaz outright dismisses Crawford's chances, stressing the overwhelming size gap. He reminds fans that Canelo has absorbed punishment from heavy hitters like Gennady Golovkin. If Canelo could withstand those shots, Diaz questions how Crawford, who has fought men closer to his own natural size, can inflict meaningful damage. Diaz warns that fighters often underestimate the toll of moving up until they feel the power of bigger opponents, and in this case, Canelo's strength and resilience create a mountain Crawford cannot climb.
Ask him who Skull is, they won't even know who he is. I don't even know who he is. But they chose him for a reason, right? A guy with a good record. But
he's a champion in the division.
Champion.
He's got the other stone that's out there that Canelo needs to connect. Again, the fight against Terence Crawford.
It's a fight for Canelo to win. Simple as that. That's what I can tell you.
Then in September, if Canelo wins, he's got Terence Crawford waiting in the wings.
There is no way that Terence Crawford, being to me my favorite fighter, the best fighter pound for pound, can beat Canelo. A 147-pounder moving up to 68, he can only maybe go 2-3 rounds, and then Canelo hits him and he hurts him. Canelo's being hit by Triple G, the hardest hitter in the division, and never hurt him. But Canelo will hit Crawford and he'll hurt him. Let's put it this way. You remember the fight Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade?
Yes.
Demetrius Andrade was a great fighter. Nobody wanted to fight him at 54. He moved to 60. Fought 1 or 2. Nobody wanted to fight him at 60. So what did he do? He moved up to 68 because there was nothing for him to fight Benavidez, a big fighter like that. Look what he did in the first early round. Demetrius Andrade was in control, he was doing great, but once that weight starts kicking in, it takes over. There is no way that Crawford can beat Canelo. Turkey on the cheek, it's a big fan of Terence Crawford. He wants to give him a good payday, and simple as that, that's all it is, man.
The debate over ring size adds another layer to the build-up. Some argue a larger ring would benefit Crawford, allowing him to use footwork and angles to evade Canelo's pressure. Yet analysts note that Canelo has fought effectively in both small and large rings, adjusting his style each time. While a bigger ring may give Crawford small advantages, it won't erase Canelo's natural size and power. Ultimately, execution, not dimensions, will decide the fight.
The biggest things in this Canelo-Crawford fight we are not talking about is the ring size. If these guys are fighting in the non-traditional 18 by 18 ring, you're gonna want to put your money on Canelo, guys. It is a big difference. Losing out on that extra 4 feet is gonna be an issue for Crawford. It's still possible. Crawford's talented, he's athletic, he has all the potential in the world to pull off a crazy upset here. No matter the ring size, it don't matter. Terence Crawford's that brilliant, he's that excellent. But I'm going to tell you, man, losing out on that 4 feet is gonna hurt his odds. It's the same thing with 22 feet. Like I said, I don't know what ring they're going with, but if it is in the 22 feet, it's gonna hurt Canelo's odds by a pretty decent margin. Maybe not as much as it's gonna hurt Crawford odds in the 18, but it's still gonna hurt it. You're giving Crawford an extra 4 feet to pivot, maneuver, slip, bob, weave, do whatever he wants. That's gonna give Canelo some issues. I feel like we're not talking about this enough. I heard Turkey said it was gonna be an 18. That was a really long time ago. Like I said, I don't know if they've confirmed what it's gonna be quite yet, but I think it's interesting. Once we get the official announcement, you guys, that's when you place your bet.
Crawford's dominant victory over Errol Spence boosted confidence in his chances against Canelo. That performance showcased his timing, adaptability, and ruthless finishing instincts. Still, experts caution that Spence was not a naturally bigger man like Canelo. They point out that Crawford has yet to face opponents on the scale of Israel Madrimov or larger fighters who can truly test his limits. Meanwhile, Canelo has already proven himself against men bigger than himself, making the challenge for Crawford all the more daunting.
Hey y'all, the simple real fact is, Terence Crawford never looked that good fighting anybody but Errol Spence. Another real fact is, y'all put too much on Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Y'all feel like he just beat fucking Jesus or Thanos or something. Okay, I get it. Errol Spence was that guy. He beat him. He dominated him. He won that fight. But y'all take that and y'all put so much on that fight, but then y'all look at the Madrimov fight and say, he was a tricky fighter. He's hard for anybody. No one can beat Madrimov. He's the second best fighter in the world because he went 12 rounds with Crawford. Not the case. Y'all put too much on the Errol Spence fight and y'all don't put enough on the Madrimov fight. Then we go back to Canelo. Y'all say Canelo, he don't stop nobody. When last time he knocked nobody? If he can't knock out Berlanga, he's not gonna knock out. If he can't knock out him, he's not gonna knock out Crawford, bruh. Just like Crawford went up to 54 and he couldn't get a knockout, Canelo has gone up to 75. He couldn't knock out Bivol. He went up to 68, and those guys are way bigger. He's fighting guys way bigger than him. Crawford could knock out Madrimov because he's his size. Do you think he's gonna knock out Canelo? He's bigger than Canelo. Bro, Canelo got a granite chin. I don't know if y'all know the Canelo. The only people who saying that Crawford's gonna knock Canelo out is people who has to be casuals. They probably have not watched a fight since the Tank last fight, or they probably ain't watched a fight since the Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford fight, because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all niggas didn't even see that Madrimov fight. Y'all just synced it and y'all running with it.
Gabe Rosado reflects on Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather, calling it a pivotal moment in his career. At the time, Canelo was still inexperienced and unprepared for Floyd's defensive mastery. But Rosado believes the defeat became a crucial lesson, forcing Canelo to evolve into the fighter he is today. Since then, Canelo has gained confidence, sharpened his technique, and adapted to countless styles. Rosado warns that Crawford will face not the young Canelo of 2013, but a matured, battle-tested champion.
Be too soon for Xander, but who knows, man? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like Canelo needed more seasoning when he fought Floyd, or do you think that Floyd just got his number? Period.
Yeah, I think he was very inexperienced when he fought Floyd. You know, he's a different fighter, but see, everybody's different. That fight is what made Canelo become the fighter that he is today. So, you know, that's why boxing, man, is like when they shame guys for losses, it's like, man, you just got to really see how a fighter bounces back from a loss. It's like, because, you know, when Canelo lost to Floyd, there was a lot of things that Canelo learned in that fight that he added to his game. Next thing you know, Canelo started moving his head and his counters got better and his speed, and he understood timing. He understood how to like break guys down differently because he learned that off Floyd. So I think it was a good learning experience for Canelo. And then, you know, I think that kind of fight is gonna help him in the Crawford fight.
Sebastian Fundora warns that Crawford may underestimate the toll of competing at super middleweight. He explains that thriving in this division requires years of physical and mental adaptation, a process Canelo has already mastered. Crawford, by contrast, is stepping into this environment for the first time, which could leave him drained. Fundora believes that win or lose, the aftermath may expose just how much of a strain Crawford endured in challenging a man who has dominated this weight class for years.
Could be. We'll see what PBC has for us.
Your favorite, Canelo or Crawford?
Canelo. because of it.
What do you think is the most significant part of that matchup in Canelo versus Crawford?
That he's comfortable at 168. You know, that he's been fighting there. He went and collected all the belts at that weight class. Crawford, of course, Crawford has a chance. He has a big chance, you know, being one of the pound-for-pound fighters of the world. But it's just the advantage of being there first. You know what to expect in that weight class. Crawford's coming off a 154 fight that he fought last year. So I really don't consider him even a 154. He's been fighting at 147 for a while. He had that one fight at 154, and then he stopped fighting for a year again. So, you know, of course he's probably been training, you know, again, high-class fighter. But to be comfortable at 168, you're gonna have to do some fights in there. And going in there fighting the undisputed champion, it's gonna take a toll.
What about Ennis? He's the new addition to 154. He's yet to fight there. Canelo brought him in camp specifically because he's a switch hitter like Terence Crawford. What do you make of Ennis just not being in your division and then him contributing to Canelo's camp, letting into this fight? Is that a good move?
I think it's good for Canelo's camp to have a fighter like Ennis. Because, yeah, he likes to switch right-handed, southpaw. I think Canelo probably didn't need that, but you know, the fact that Ennis went might cause a little bit of drama. I think he did for a dramatic effect, but you know, great fighter at 147, but 154 is a different division. They have me in there, so we'll see what he would.
Critics debate the entertainment value of Crawford's style compared to Canelo's. Crawford is a technician, but some argue his fights lack the fireworks that captivate casual fans. Canelo, meanwhile, is known for delivering drama knockouts, body shot clinics, and high-stakes battles. Analysts suggest that even if Crawford defeats Canelo, he may not automatically become boxing's global face. To truly seize that mantle, he would need to conquer other big names like Dimitri Bivol, proving he can handle the very best at higher weights.
You know, the closer you get, the more outlandish these statements were. We had one outlandish one that his fighting style is not entertaining. Right? Canelo's fighting style is more entertaining than Terence Crawford's. I don't know what lens you're looking through, right? Well, why isn't Terence Crawford's fighting style entertaining? So that's one thing. Well, here's the next one. Now, check this out. They're saying that Terence Crawford won't even be great if he were to defeat Canelo Álvarez. He won't be great if he defeats Canelo Álvarez because all the stuff he's done until now, becoming two-division undisputed, beating a lot of undefeated fighters and a lot of fighters with one loss, seems to not be anything. But even beating Canelo Álvarez, the face of boxing, four-division champion, undisputed super middleweight champion, none of that would matter because they list fighters that he would have to beat to become great. And most of them are fighters that four-division champ, Canelo Álvarez, that he won't fight. He would have to beat Artur Beterbiev, right? Canelo ain't fighting him. He would have to beat Dimitri Bivol, who Canelo won't fight again, definitely at 168 pounds, because he wants to fight him at 175, because he wants to have the excuse that that weight could be too big for him. Dimitri Bivol wants to fight Canelo Álvarez at 168, so he can become two-division undisputed. Canelo doesn't want that. But Crawford has to beat that guy, right? Crawford has to beat David Benavidez as well, right? We know Canelo doesn't want to fight him, but Crawford has to beat him to become great, right? Remember, Canelo's great already. Then he would have to fight David Morrell.
That wraps up today's breakdown. Stay tuned for more updates as the anticipation for Crawford versus Canelo continues to grow.